Hey guys, what's up? It's Nate or Nerdman73 here, and welcome to what I'm gonna call the binary episode or something like that. I'm just gonna discuss binary adders and such, and I've come up with a design for one myself that I think is worth showing to YouTube. This is your typical binary adder right here, so you may notice some patterns like this, looks exactly like this, because they're the same thing. I'm not going to go into how the circuitry works, though. I'm just going to discuss the basic concepts. So, how these generally work is they have an input 1 and an input 2, and it deals with them separately, and then carries over what it needs to. So, in binary, obviously it's ones and zeros, but what does that mean? Well, each number, each one, each space holds a value of 2 times the last number. So this is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, and 256. So, like a 1 in this position represents 1, 2, 4, 8. Okay? So let's just show off how this thing functions. So we have 1 and 1 is 2. But if we add, so if we stick this here, this is the number 3, right? Because 1 and 2 is 3, plus 1 is 4, right? So, and this thing is actually pretty fast, right? So if we add 1 to every spot here, actually I'm gonna leave this one off. This is the number 255 because it's every number except for the last one here, which is 256. So if we add 1 here, it'll just click on over to 256. This thing is really big. That's my problem with it. It's massive, right? But let me show you a design that I came up with, which is this thing. That and this do the same thing. It's just this one is a little bit slower. There's a lot of pistons and such in it, and pistons don't do great for speed. So we'll go 1 just to demonstrate, and 1 is 2. Now this has something I like to call continuous input, where you can put any amount of number. Well, let's say you wanted to do 1 plus 1 plus 1. You can't do 3 inputs over here. You just can't, it just doesn't work like that. But if we just did 1 plus 1, if we add 1 to that, it's 3, because 1 and 2 is 3. If we add 1 more, it's 4. There it goes. So how this thing basically works, let me reset it. How this thing works is every input here has 2 options. It can either be on or off. So when it's on, after it clicks back off again, that means it's had 2 inputs. So it's gonna carry over to the next place value. Which is really great when you have sticky pistons, because if you hit a sticky piston with a 1-tick pulse, then it'll just leave its block out there. So this is basically using a T flip-flop to do all the work for us. So now that I've explained this whole thing, well, let me showcase how this speed is. Let me set up the same situation we had last time. So this is a 7-bit. That's an 8-bit. Whatever. I can expand it to 8-bit. It's fine. I mean, it can. It's not a huge deal. So this is 255. And notice it's quite a bit slower. If you see, it's probably half, maybe quarter the speed, and it hits the overflow. This overflow is the number 256. So yeah, let's hop in and see how to build this thing. Alright, so when you're building this thing, the first thing you want to start out with is 2 pistons diagonally next to each other, just like that. If you did want to extend it further, you could just keep zigzagging like this. But since this design is semi-tileable, we're just going to do the 2 patterns that you need to follow, and then you can expand it as much as you'd like. So after that, you're going to want 2 observers like so, and then kind of up a block and over one, you're going to want 2 pistons just like this. Okay. From there, you're going to want to put an observer facing downwards from both under both pistons. But this one, the piston that's extended out further this way, you're going to want to put an observer, another observer under it, and then a block on the end of that observer. So on the bottom of this one, you want to leave a space. Don't put a block here; it'll mess it up. And then next to this block, you're going to want these two sticky pistons here, right next to each other with two redstone blocks on the ends. And you're going to want to put pistons on the edge, just like so. And then you're going to want to put an observer facing like that, and an observer facing upwards, right? On the ends of these, you're going to want to put two pistons facing in the same direction, but one is up a block, one is down a block. And then on the end of this one, where it would extend, and on top of this piston, you're going to want to put an observer, just like that. So we're going to leave this, we're going to put this block back over here, just because it'll make it easier later. So that should be all of the calculation portion. After that, you're going to want to build your reset circuit. So your reset circuit is really simple. All it is a line of redstone, a line of pistons, regular pistons, not sticky, and then a button, just like this. And then for your inputs, all you're going to need are two pieces of redstone. If I can grab redstone, there we go. Two pieces of redstone on top of that, and a button on this one. I believe that is an entire calculator right there. This is a 2-bit adder. This one is 8-bit. So you can expand it as much as you'd like, but just to demonstrate, let's go 1 and 1. Gives us 2, and plus 2 should trigger the overflow. There we go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you build this calculator. Now, this adder is, I'm very proud of this. This is a 100% original design. So yeah, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe as you see fit. And I'll see you in the next video.